Welcome to Sports Guy Talking. I am Dustin Tran, your host, as I am joined by guest Kevin Lemelle today to make predictions on how Davis Mills will perform for the Texans. Davis Mills is a former third-round quarterback that is entering his second season in the NFL. The Texans decide to essentially give Davis Mills a trial-by-fire season by giving him the reins to be the Texans starting quarterback. Before I say anything else, though, I want to present you guys with a topic question. So, here it is. How will Davis Mills perform this season for the Texans?
I think got a shot. He's a good quarterback. It's just that he's in the beginning stages of it. People you want to expect something heavy right now, but I give him next year, this season, he going to improve. But I give it 2 more years that he's going to be a top quarterback.
2 more years. That's what you're going to be saying. That's what you truly believe is going to happen.
Yes, that's what's going to happen.
That's an interesting take from you. I'm not quite as high on Davis Mills as you are, but I know you're a Houston Texans fan, so you guys have to have the optimism. Because right now, I'm looking at the Houston Texans. There's a mess in that organization right now. They've been changing head coaches consistently. They now got a new offensive coordinator, Pep Hamilton. I'm pretty sure some people like him. I'm all right with him, but, I'm not really too high on Pep Hamilton. As for Davis Mills, he had a nice finish to last year, 9 touchdowns, 2 interceptions in the late stretch of the season. That's what I'm trying to say. In his last 5 games, he had a 9-2 TDI-INT ratio, so he was pretty solid for the Houston Texans. He won 2 games with them. He even beat the LA Chargers. So there's a lot to like about Davis Mills. He seems to be an overachiever. He seems to be able to have a good arm. He's an underrated athlete. I know that people don't really think of him as a mobile quarterback, but he's a guy that can move his feet a little bit, roll out to his right when necessary. He can make all the throws necessary. He's not a bad quarterback at all. In fact, if you ask me where I would rank Davis Mills today, I would say he's a top 25, top 26 quarterback, which is not bad for a guy that, was a third-round rookie just last year. So Davis Mills, he's a guy that can certainly do some things, and he's going to have a golden opportunity to perform for the Houston Texans this season because now they're saying this is his team, and they're not having a quarterback competition. They're letting him take all the first-team reps. So there's a lot to be excited about if you're the Houston Texans, if you like Davis Mills particularly. All right, so let me go ahead and ask you this. How do you think Davis Mills is going to perform this year? What's going to be his stats? What's going to be his win-loss record?
Win-loss record, that's a good question. They play 17 games. They may be 7-10 or 6-11. But you right, sports guy, because he need a little bit more competition to push it. And when I think that we'll see. It's a we'll see situation.
Yeah, man, for sure. And right now with Davis Mills, he's playing in a stacked AFC. You're looking at the AFC, all the teams around. There's so many good quarterbacks. And Davis Mills, his ceiling seems to be he's going to be an okay quarterback. If you ask me what Davis Mills' ceiling is probably going to be, it's probably going to be like a Kirk Cousins. Is that going to be good enough to be considered a franchise quarterback for a team like the Houston Texans? I'm not so sure about that. And if you're Davis Mills, I think he has to go ahead and perform this season because if they don't go ahead and perform this season, they're going to draft a quarterback to replace him. In today's NFL, if a young quarterback that wasn't, selected too highly doesn't perform, they're going to go ahead and replace the guy with the guy that they think can be a star, like a CJ Stroud or a Bryce Young. That's what Davis Mills is going up against, and he needs to go ahead and perform this year. I mean, I'm looking at his receiving core. It's not really that good, to be honest. I mean, his receivers, Brandon Cooks, okay, he's pretty good, but then after that, it kind of drops off. Chris Conley, he's his number 2, and Nico Collins, that's his number 3. They don't really have a good tight end either. Running backs, they got Marlon Mack. He hasn't been good in some years. Rex Burkhead's their backup. So it's not like Davis Mills has a ton to work with on the offensive side of the ball. And Davis Mills, as we already know, is a limited quarterback. So I don't think it's going to go too well for Davis Mills this year. But do you see Davis Mills being able to play all the games for the Texans this year? Or do you think he's going to miss some time?
Well, you got to have, if you got a strong arm, you got to have good receivers and good running backs and coming out the backfield to catch passes. That's gonna be the struggle right there. Because if they can't catch his passes or something, David Mills may be a quarterback, maybe moved, or maybe somebody else who could go ahead and step up.
Yeah, that's where I'm at with Davis Mills. To answer my own question from earlier, I think that the Houston Texans overall will finish 3-14. I'm not high on the Texans this year. They don't really have a good team in general,
Yeah.
they're a team in rebuilding mode. I know you're saying 6-11 or 7-10, but I'm more in the 3-14 range. I don't think Davis Mills is going to play all the games. His offensive line is pretty bad. He's going to miss some time due to injury. I think he's going to play 12 games. I think he's going to have a 2-10 win-loss record. And my stat line for him is going to be 67% completion percentage. He'll throw for about 2,700 yards, maybe a little more than that, 13 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. He's going to take 36 sacks. He's going to put up like about 50 rushing yards, and he's going to lose the football about 3 times. So he'll have 3 fumbles. So that's what I'm trying to say. So I predict that's how Davis Mills is going to play. He's better suited as a backup than he is as a starter. So that's just kind of where I'm at with Davis Mills. What's your stat line prediction for him?
My prediction is be messing up in the start. He's a backup quarterback, and I agree with you, sports guy, because the team needs a foundation. They need to get players that step up and win.
Yeah, that's exactly what they need to do. But tell me this: you think he's going to throw for more touchdowns this year than he did last year, or what's his touchdown interception ratio going to look like? You think he's going to improve statistically, or you think he's going to get worse?
The touchdown, he may increase a little, about like 2% or 3%.
And what about his passing yards? What do you think? You think it's going to increase?
I say it's gonna be. It all depends. It all depends. If he having a struggle time, he going to decrease.
I actually think that his passing yards is going to increase a little bit. Like I said earlier, I think his touchdowns will decrease. I think his turnovers are going to go up a bit just because he has a bad offensive line and his receiving core is not really all that as well. But
Right.
to wrap this up, let me ask you this. Do you think that Davis Mills will have an overall successful season where they're going to say, you know what, in 2023, we're going to stick with Davis Mills as starting quarterback, or do you think they're going to move on from him?
Well, if they stick with him, they mean that they go have to do some homework. They have to do. They really have to. He has to really got to gel in order for them to be a winning team. You got holes in the on the lines, and need to prove on the line. In order for you to have a good quarterback, have a good season, you got to have built up a line first.
And that's where I'm at with you too. I agree with you. You need a good offensive line if you want a quarterback that plays like Davis Mills specifically to succeed. I don't think that's going to be the case. I don't think Davis Mills is going to have a successful season. Is he going to be a really good backup? Yeah, but he's not going to be a full-time starting quarterback for this team as he's going to prove. I think the Houston Texans in 2023 are going to go ahead and move on from Davis Mills, and they're going to go ahead and select the first-round quarterback to replace Davis Mills. So that's what I think is going to happen. Well, Kevin, thanks for being on the show. Appreciate you coming on here. He's worked a little bit with the Spurs Sports and Entertainment, so he knows a little bit about. Yep, so he knows a lot of stuff about sports. That's what I'm trying to say. All right, he has some socials. All right, make sure you follow his Instagram at Kevin Randolph Medell. All right, the link will be in the description box below. All right, thanks for being on the show.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was great talking with you about Texans football as you're a Texans fan. All right, see you, man.
Okay, I'll talk later.
Yep, bye. That was Kevin Medell that you guys just heard. All right, so he seems to be a lot higher on Davis Mills than I am, even though he acknowledges that the Texans don't have a good supporting cast around Davis Mills. He says that the Texans need to get a better offensive line for Davis Mills if he wants to succeed for them long term. Otherwise, they're going to end up replacing him. I 100% agree with him. I think that Davis Mills is a limited quarterback. I think he's going to struggle being a full-time starting quarterback. I think that his turnovers are going to go up. His production overall is going to go down. So that's where I'm at. I think that Davis Mills, he's going to end up struggling more in the second year than he did as a rookie. So that is why Davis Mills will not perform that well as a quarterback this season in his development for the Texans. Remember, go ahead and subscribe to Sports Guy Talking. Like the video and please comment down below. If you guys do that, I may shout you guys out in my Instagram story every Monday. That will be for the @Dustin Tran Instagram account. Make sure to follow me on Instagram at Dustin Tran and at Sports Guy Talking. Also, go follow me on Twitter at Dustin Tran. Again, go ahead and do those things that I just told you guys to go do. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed the content that was just produced. Peace out. I hope you enjoyed that video. Want more Sports Guy Talking, the home of great sports content? Make sure you click that subscribe button to get the latest from Sports Guy Talking. Go ahead and like the video. Comment down below. Check the description box on the video in order to follow my Instagram and Twitter. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from the YouTube channel, Sports Guy Talking.